What's up guys, this is Danny from Rethink Peer-to-Peer Lending. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will share with you the performance of my peer-to-peer lending portfolio, as well as discuss the most recent events that have happened on a number of platforms. Among other topics, we will review the impact that the new regulations will have in Poland, how the situation of Jordan loans on Esketit can be assessed, and what the key findings are from the brand new podcast Income Insights. But first, let's review my personal peer-to-peer portfolio and the performance in October. In total, I was able to generate 641 euro from my outstanding peer-to-peer portfolio in October, which is the second highest income this year and the fourth month in 2023 in which I was able to break through the 600 euro mark. New records in terms of my personal income from individual peer-to-peer platforms were set last month by Esketit with 160 euros, as well as from the Lithuanian section consisting of CrowdPeer, Profitus and Heavy Finance. The best performance continues to be delivered by PeerBerry with 12.86%, closely followed by Income Marketplace with 12.66%. The poor performance of Estateguru continued also last month. As a consequence, my total return has now dropped to below 7% for the first time ever. There were a total of 5 transactions in the previous month, as new deposits of each 1,000 euro were added to PeerBerry, Esketit, CrowdPeer and Heavy Finance. On the other side, 1,000 euro have been withdrawn from Estateguru, which leads to a net deposit result of 3,000 euro in October. The value of my outstanding peer-to-peer portfolio increased to 81,507 euros in October, which is the highest portfolio amount I ever had since I started investing in peer-to-peer lending more than 6 years ago. Next up, we are reviewing a couple of peer-to-peer platforms and what happened there in the previous weeks. A few weeks ago, PeerBerry was the first of all affected peer-to-peer platforms to announce that there will be new regulatory restrictions coming in Poland from January 2024. The new regulation includes a mandatory supervision by the financial regulator KNF, a restriction for non-interest costs, as well as new obligations regarding credit checks. The most crucial point, however, is that Polish lenders will no longer be allowed to finance their loan portfolio through investors from peer-to-peer platforms, bonds, or any other undocumented debt instrument from next year. As a consequence, Aventus Group will no longer offer any more Polish loans on PeerBerry from 2024. In order to balance the decreasing loan supply, lenders from Mexico, Nigeria, Colombia or South Africa are to be added to the marketplace in the future. In the meantime, Aventus already started to offer its first business loan to finance their loan portfolio in some emerging markets. The loan term starts from 30 days and the interest rate offered starts at 9%. As usual, all loans are secured by a buyback and group guarantee. If you want to learn more about PeerBerry, please watch the latest platform review from last week or go straight to my blog to read my entire analysis. Next up, we are looking at Esketit, a platform that clearly is struggling to finance their lending activities in Jordan. In a recent article, Esketit states that the loan quality from Jordan lender Money for Finance remains very good. Apparently, also the risk profile is stable and the non-performing loans are consistently below the mark of 10%. But since the recent past has made it abundantly clear that geopolitical risk cannot be underestimated, it seems only logical that investors are holding back from this risk, especially with an unchanged interest rate of only 12%. Personally, I also deviated from my initial strategy of simply letting the loans run out, but I instead actively sold my portfolio of Jordan loans. What helped to apply this decision was the usage of the immediate cash out function, which can be utilized if one of the predefined Esketit strategies has been selected. Within 24 hours, my Jordan portfolio was completely liquidated and the funds were available in my account. Compared to the Czech Republic and Spain, the status of Jordan loans doesn't necessarily look much worse if you take a closer look at the statistics. However, loan extensions have already been applied to 33% of Jordan loans and 0% in the 2 European countries. I can't tell though whether this is a direct consequence from the recent developments. Next up, we are looking at Income Marketplace, a platform that recently launched a brand new podcast called Income Insights, where I have the opportunity to host the first 6 episodes. In the monthly podcast, I will sit down with Income founder and majority shareholder Kimmo Ritkönen to talk about the latest developments and events of the Estonian peer-to-peer marketplace. Here are some of the most important findings from the first episode, which can be summarized like this. Regarding the recent change of the CEO position, Kimmo explained that he wants to focus more on the strategic aspects of the platform development in the future, which will include the upcoming funding round, the regulation of the platform, and the onboarding of the urgently needed new lenders. He also believes that Lavrenti Tsudakov is a very good fit to lead the operational side of the business, as he has developed into a valuable employee in recent years. Trusting him with this position was also a sign to provide him with a long-term perspective and to retain him with the company for years to come.
It boils down to opportunity and succession. In terms of opportunity, I mean that if there is a good guy who is able to take the lead, then that opportunity might not be there tomorrow. Timing is everything. And then, that clicked in place. And then by succession, perhaps I wouldn't have held the position anyway until the end of times. So really, when a good candidate comes along, it's very nice to be able to give others the chance to lead as well.
That Kimmo was somehow dismissed due to the recent problems is obviously a very wild theory, especially if you consider that he is still the majority shareholder of the platform. As for the repayment issues at Vivus, Kimmo has confirmed that the delays are due to complications with bank transfers based on compliance checks with AML and KYC requirements. The platform is actively working towards a solution to this problem and currently assumes that the outstanding 500,000 euros should be transferred within the next 2 weeks.
There is no doubt, at least in our head, that then anything funny would be going on the background. I believe this week, next week, we'll see the 500K. People will get their money with interest, and then that case is closed, and we'll look at Vivus later down the line as a separate new onboarding if the new Mexico comes.
Also, ClickCash has been discussed, and Kimmo revealed which solution the marketplace is looking at to settle with investors for the remaining 150,000 euro. In agreement with ClickCash, the platform plans to repay a fixed monthly amount to the investors. Should ClickCash fail to honor the repayment plan, Income would step in to bridge the outstanding amount from its own funds. This would mean a new dimension in the peer-to-peer environment, as no other marketplace has ever covered the outstanding receivables of a problematic lender before. This goes to show how serious and committed the platform is to find a solution on the everlasting issue with ClickCash, but also that Income is willing to take more accountability for this than any other marketplace has ever done before, with a lender not honoring their buyback obligations. Next up, let's look at a company that I feared would be also massively affected by the upcoming regulations in Poland, which is Twino. Considering the latest public data, more than half of the outstanding portfolio amount of Twino is coming from Poland. However, Twino is not going to be impacted by the latest regulatory changes and can continue its business activities as before. The reason being is that Polish lender NetCredit is already a licensed payment institution supervised by the Polish financial authority KNF, which therefore already covers one of the new requirements. More importantly, however, the Polish credit intermediary does not grant regular consumer loans like the credit institutions affected by the regulation, but provides its customers digital credit cards with credit lines, which in turn are not affected by the new regulation. Last but not least, let's talk about the Estonian platform Estateguru, which is celebrating its 10th birthday these days. If we look at the figures of what Estateguru has achieved in the last decade, we can see that a total of 6,000 loans with a volume of over 750 million euros have been granted by more than 160,000 registered users on the platform. Although these are certainly impressive figures, the massive drop in performance over the last 12 months is clearly adding a bad taste to the birthday cake. As good as a long track record might appear from the outside, in the end it is consistency in performance that remains the most crucial element by which a platform is assessed. As I no longer expect the announced wave of recoveries by the end of this year, I will most likely let my investments on the platform run out and exit Estateguru next year.